So I'm working on a new shop. This is a 1,000 square foot shop and we just got it painted. We're putting in electrical right now and I'm gonna be outfitting it very soon. But I'm not gonna go out and just buy the best tool of everything. I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna take a look at some different pieces of equipment and test them out before I put them in the shop. Now I am gonna put some nice stuff in here, but I also don't wanna spend a fortune. So I'm gonna start testing some tools. And today we're testing the cheapest track saw on Amazon. Back in the garage, and I have the cheap track saw right here behind me. Check it out. Now, the track saw itself cost 150 bucks, and I bought some extra track, which was about 100 bucks, and that's 104 inches of track right there. And the track clamps came with this. So we're gonna open this up real quick, see how it's packaged, and then we're gonna test it out. First things I noticed that I don't like is this is just stuck on here with some double-sided tape, it looks like, and these extend past, so I'll have to trim those off when I butt them up. That's not a huge deal. Even if the tape isn't really good, I can just use some speed tape, and I have that here in the shop, and put that stuff on there, which will hold these things on incredibly well. So that's not a huge deal. It's just one thing I kind of noticed that's a little flimsy on this. The tracks are really sturdy. They're made out of solid aluminum. They have 3 or 2 positions here with rubber on them for non-sliding. I think that probably acts as a third. So the tracks are actually pretty well put together. They're as good as the DeWalt or even the Makita ones that I've used. There is a little bit of play on here, but there's an adjustability knob right here, so we'll deal with that here in a second. See if that takes that play out. First test, I'm going to cut through some white oak that is 1 inch and just shy of 5/8 thick. So 1 inch and 9/16. It's up just fine, that's good. It's got a flathead set screw, which I guess isn't a big deal, but I'd much rather see it be a hex screw instead of a flathead. Clamps are pretty cheesy on this. We'll see how well they work, I guess. Well, that's actually pretty good hold for a cheap clamp. All right, so before we run this down the track, I want to adjust this. So this does have a little play in here, and there's a knob here to adjust it. So you just loosen that, I suppose. Oh, here we go. Okay, so just loosen that till it's tight on the track, and then tighten it back down. So that was super hard. Perfect. No play at all. Okay, cool. Let's do the back one and get to cutting. Feels really sturdy this way, so I'm ready to give it a shot. Let's give it a cut and see what happens. That's a really good cut for a cheap blade. Switching out the tracks, I wanted to put the long ones together and the short ones together, and I noticed a little indiscrepancy here. It looks like 1/8 inch and 27.5 inches that it falls in this way. We can probably fix that, but I would have liked to have seen this be nice and straight right from the factory. Yep, that did it. Okay, easy fix. See how the big track. Now these two together combined are 104 inches. In this case we have 2 tracks to put in here, or 2 mechanisms to lock them together. I wonder if there was a second one for that. I didn't see a second one for the short track. Maybe I'm missing something. Well, that one's perfect. That's good news. I wonder if I was missing a second track or second tie-in for that other track. Nope, I guess it didn't come with the second one. So all that black stuff you're seeing is actually just that cutting the rubber flange off for the first cut there. And you got a straight edge. Perfect. Yeah. So listen to this. You hear that little drrrr sound? That is from using cheap bearings. Now that being said, I've had saws with cheap bearings that have lasted 10 years, so it's not enough to scare me away from this. For the price tag, I say it's definitely worth the gamble. So far so good. I haven't seen anything yet that would make me want to send this back. So I've heard some people say that if you have a track saw, you don't need a table saw. And I absolutely disagree with that. Especially if you want to like rip a 2x4 down or something. It gets pretty fiddly having to stack 2x4s up, and if one happens to be a little thicker than the other, it has a bow, it can lift up one side, so you end up with a cut that kind of wanes off at some portion of that cut. Well, for ripping down plywood or even, you know, getting a straight edge on a big slab, I think track saws are amazing. And you know, you can definitely, if you want to cut thinner boards, you can stack a few together like I have here. I have some cedar fence slats. So, and they're pretty even as far as thickness, so I don't have to worry about one edge getting all goofed up. But I would definitely say this is not a replacement for a table saw. So for those of you who asked me about that, yeah, no. Table saws are probably the most important tool in a shop, in a general woodworking shop. You obviously don't have to have one if you're doing something specific that doesn't require one. But if you're general woodworking, table saws are a must. I have noticed that this the depth set thing is a little fiddly. It's not terrible, but it is a bit fiddly. But when you do lock it in place, it is very secure. So that's one good thing. Not too shabby. Okay, so moment of truth, would I recommend this saw? I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 for a cheap saw. The fences were a little fiddly. I would have liked to have seen a double joining bar, a double union bar for that smaller fence. But once we trimmed that out, it was perfectly straight. But this one was pretty much perfectly straight out of the box. And when I say pretty much, I mean straight enough for a glue up. So in a lot of cases, this could be a replacement for a jointer. If you're just jointing the side, obviously you're not going to face any material with this. But I'm keeping it, and I think that's going to be the measure going forward. If I do a cheap tool review or a cheap tool video like I'm doing now, I wouldn't really call this a review. Whether I send it back or keep it's going to be the final verdict. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and keep this saw. It ate through 1 inch and 5/8 of white oak with no trouble at all. The bearing thing, I guess time will tell. You know, I don't necessarily like that sound, but it's not something that scares me away from keeping the tool, because like I said, I've had bearings that sound like that in tools that have lasted 10 years. And for $150, if this tool even lasts a year or two, it's well worth it, especially since the next level track saw up is about a $400 saw. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to hang on to it, and I'm going to use it. And if would I recommend it? Sure. If you're going to use it once in a while, it's not something you're using day in and day out, I don't see any reason why to spend more than the $150 that something like this costs. So time will tell. I'm going to keep this saw and keep using it, so if I have any problems with it down the road, I will make sure to mention that in videos. But for now, I'm going to hang on to it. I'm actually pretty impressed. You know, for a track saw that costs less than a good quality skill saw or circular saw would, heck yeah, I think it's worth the money. Those are my 2 cents. You know, take it or leave it. Appreciate you guys watching this video, of course. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, leave me a comment down in the comment section below. And if there's a particular tool you'd like me to check out, do that. Put it in the comment section below. I'd be happy to check out more tools. I'd be buying these tools with my own money, and if I like them, I'm keeping them. If I don't, I'll send them back, and I'm going to tell you guys all about it. So next up, we got a drill press. We're going to look at the oscillating spindle sander, and both of these are from, the drill press and spindle sander are from Wen, so you can expect that in upcoming videos, thrown in amongst all the crazy build videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you soon.